So how did you mentally overcome the fear of just jumping in like waist deep into the real estate game?
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a single point or answer to that question because I think you're always going to have some fear of the unknown. You're not going to know everything. But what I've seen time and time again is the people who have had success in business in general or real estate specifically are the people who take the risks or they just take action. And eventually you have to just do it. And that's kind of, I did months of education, doing the podcast, listening, and eventually I just knew that I had, the so many people have built wealth through real estate, and it was worth sacrificing that $25,000 for my first deal to see if this is an avenue that I want to pursue long term, where the majority of millionaires are created through real estate. But for that fear moving forward and diving and starting to take on more projects, it is the confidence just kind of continued to build as you see the process work from start to finish, right?
Yeah,
You buy
absolutely.
something, you improve it, you rent it out, and 6 months later you have made tens of thousands of dollars for something that did not take you know all year to create, and it's very powerful and it's addicting. I think I get addicted to the numbers and that pursuit of equity in these deals. But from a how do you work through that fear perspective is I think you just have to have conversations. You have to feel educated enough and eventually, take out the risks. The one thing that I always say when new investors are saying, "Hey, I want to buy my first rental," um, you know, there are so many people who are there to help you along the way. You're going to have an inspection. You're going to have a real estate agent to help you look at that deal, the inspector. The lender that is borrowing on that deal is going to get an appraisal done to tell you what they believe the value of that property is. And the lender is then going to underwrite the deal. And so you have all these people to check you along the way, maybe not in an off-market transaction, which, people may pursue in that first, but buying something just off of the MLS, you have so many checks and balances of people who want to see you succeed. And so I think, people just, feel like the walls may cave in after they buy it, but that's not going to happen if you have all these people helping you throughout a transaction.
Yeah, for me, it was pretty simple. The fear of being poor and broke and not being able to pay my bills and living paycheck to paycheck, even though I had a six-figure job because I didn't understand money. The fear of continuing that lifestyle was greater than my fear of failing at a new business.
I like that.
And for me, I always thought about it like if I jump into real estate and I lose it all, and that's worst case scenario, and everything goes to shit, will I be okay? Yeah, because as a man, I'll go work at McDonald's if I need to. I'll go work at Burger King if I need to. Do I want to? No. But I know that I have a grind that no matter what, I could figure out life. Might not be the same lifestyle,
Yeah.
might not be whatever, but I don't allow the fear of failing at that business to hold me back. And that holds a lot of people back. But I tell younger investors all the time, if you're going to jump into real estate, you got to be ready to go at it. You got to be ready to grind. And if you think you're just going to buy one or two properties and that's going to solve your problems, it does not,
No way.
and it won't. I have so many out of state investors that I help get into the real estate market, and they buy one quad in Dayton, Ohio, and they're living in California, and they can't figure out why they're not getting rich,
Yeah.
right? Because it won't happen. It just doesn't happen like that. You might make quite a bit of money on the refinance, or you might make quite a bit of money if you sell it. But at the end of the day, you got to be ready to go full force. You got to be ready to just kind of jump in. Doesn't mean you leave your W-2 job, but you got to be ready to grind. You got to be ready to buy multiple properties and really go at it and start understanding the game.